Alright. So, last time, you guys maneuvered your way through that icy cavern, dungeony kind of thing, where you found yourself after fighting some swamp monsters. You started off with a short rest. You investigated some stuff. You fought some skelly zombie boys and some other monsters down there. You found a few treasure chests with some cool little treasures in there. You basically explored the entirety of the space where you found yourself. You did um, find this little altar, and you completed the altar, and you created a multicolored tunnel of light that went up and through the ceiling of the dungeon. And as you guys were getting that all kind of situated, you kept hearing this voice that was calling to you to come and free it. So you followed this voice, which led you even further underground into a very even colder region, where you took on and fought a frost worm, which almost took out one of you, but you were successful in not dying to the frost worm. When you were down there, um, Kaylin got swallowed by the worm, and acquired the some weapon. And you guys, after killing this frostworm, you decided to kind of try and harvest it some. And Anthea, you acquired yourself some frostworm poison. And this is actually where you find yourselves right now. Just a few minutes post um, post chopping up the worm and acquiring the poison from its poison glands. Um, you guys are very cold down here, but there's not a whole lot else going on down here. So
Well, that was a big, a big challenge. I'm glad we weren't lunch.
I'm very glad we didn't die.
That was, yeah, I was touch and go there for a minute. Oh, did we get the did did we get the friend out? Did we get the trapped person out from inside of the?
We hear anything?
Yeah.
you guys no longer hear anything. You do, however, see that Kaylin is wielding this rapier,
Oh, got it.
which the blade seems to be almost made of
Your
silk,
friend.
and the pommel is onyx with a ruby in it, and she sheaths it and kind of puts it away. And you guys don't hear any more voice, but um, you kind of get this feeling that whatever was being whatever was being constrained against its will has broken free.
Hmm. Sword friend.
Mm.
Hmm.
Nice.
Hopefully friend and not foe.
You know, crazy weapons, changing the minds of various fighters. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will be great.
But yeah, Pax, you actually got the killing blow on the frostworm.
Yeah, with my
Yeah.
psychic Lancy thingy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. With
After being much stunned for some time.
right, you had a whole bunch of stuff going on there. You did a bunch of damage to it too, and you took them out.
Aha, vengeance.
But yeah, you guys can explore in here some more if you want to. But I'll tell you, all that's down here is really just more ice and stone, and then holes that the frostworm has dug while traveling around hunting for stuff.
Wow.
This is a big hole.
I draw a quick sketch in my notebook,
Yeah, go for
label it hole,
it.
and then I add worm in front of it.
Wormhole.
Is it a
Yeah,
wormhole?
Yes.
That's very good.
Okay.
Well, we
think
still don't
that's
have an
about it.
exit, so I guess we should continue exploring.
Well, you do have the one.
Okay, great.
The only thing that you thought that could be the exit was that that tunnel of light that you guys made before, which is back upstairs. So your
Oh, that's right.
your exit to this space, the stairs didn't collapse or anything. You can come and go down here if you so choose. Fizz actually hid halfway up the stairs while shooting the frostworm.
Hey man, it led to me taking like no damage.
Yeah, I think you took like what, one, maybe a little
One-
bit more based
one
on some
point.
temp or something.
Yep.
Hey man, stairs are viable.
Mhm.
Cows can't chase you down them. So
Cows can't chase you down though.
cows can go upstairs, but they can't go down them. Proven
Really?
fact. Yeah. If you let a cow go
Huh.
upstairs, the only way to get it out is either push it out of a window, carry it out, or kill it. Because they can't walk back downstairs. It's wild.
Cow facts.
Cow facts. Just like squirrels can't die from
See,
any height you
what-
drop them from.
It's
What
true.
does Google say? Cows won't walk downstairs on their own. It has been proven that cows will walk downstairs if you force them to. So they can walk downstairs, but they won't. They will avoid the situation if possible, as they're not evolutionary prepared for steep slopes.
So basically, you're pushing them downstairs. And that's not going to be easy because cows are not small. So good luck with that. Anyway, cow facts. What would you guys like to do?
Show me the cow facts.
Worm facts.
Worm facts.
I think we go back
Anthea,
up.
what are you gonna do
Right?
with that poison?
Okay. You have the poison. It's actually in Anthea's inventory now. I think I added it.
I was
there
asking her
earlier.
what she's gonna do with it.
Murder.
The king.
Well, it's poison, right?
Yes, it is a.
Allegedly.
It is an injurious
Then,
poison, so you can hurt people with it.
I kind of said that as a joke, but that's kind of our whole thing, right? We're trying to kill a king.
Yeah. I mean, it does a lot of damage.
And I mean, it doesn't paralyze, but that's a messed up way to go. You're poisoned under the slow effect. That is death.
It's just rude and unfun.
What the fuck is this?
But yeah, you guys want to
What?
head back upstairs or what you want?
I'm
Yeah.
just looking at my inventory.
Cool.
Sometimes inventories are mysterious.
Yes.
Listen,
Forget all the
man,
fun things we have.
I had a character with a lot of stuff on him. I didn't understand half the stuff. So I just wrote
Hooray.
stuff.
That's fair. That's fair.
That means you're probably doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
yeah,
you
back
guys
up the stairs sounds good.
head back upstairs. Cool. And you guys are right here.
Yeah, I guess.
remember this.
Yes. She was a kind of
Um,
inmate. Not really.
It was a while. Felt like weeks ago that we were here.
Yes. Fancy that. Did we explore every direction? I think we did. Pax
Right.
remembers. Michael doesn't.
Yeah, you guys came from up here. Here, I'll just draw you a little line. So you guys came from up this way. You explored over here. It was just basically like a hallway. You guys went this way. That's where you guys went downstairs. You
Right.
came down here, and when you went this way, this is where the chests were. And when you went this way, that was towards like the altar general area. So
Cool.
whoop. Yeah. Do you want me to put you guys at the altar, or was there something specific you guys wish to do?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything else much to do. Folks, yes? Question mark?
You guys pretty much explored the
Other
whole
than leave, No.
Yes,
Yeah.
leaving is a thing.
Let's do the altar of leaving.
All right.
The altar of bye.
All right, so you
The
guys
ultra. Bye bye.
are now over here. Whoop. All right, so you guys lit up this light. So you put 4 different types of magic into this altar, offerings of death and life, fire and ice, and you see that the tunnel of prismatic light, which was going up behind you, which is right here, is still there, and it's just going up.
That looks like a friendly and safe and unmagical exit. Let's take it.
All right. So you guys step into. You guys all stepping into it?
Yeah.
All right. 1 second here. Do, 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 do.
Da, da.
Oh no, I gotta click on the right things. I'm clicking on all the wrong things. Unlike Blink 182, these are not all the right things. These are all the wrong things. These are not the small things. These are the wrong things. Alright, so, you guys find yourselves back up
Oh.
in the swamp area inside this. You're inside the house for all points and purposes. You're inside this little shack. But as you guys get up here, you see that you are back up above where you were before. It is starting to get pretty dark up here. It's probably later in the evening. The water that was all green and swampy and gross before you beat them, is now pretty much clear at this point. As you touch it, it doesn't feel as cold on the surface up here. It feels like it's starting to warm up a little bit. But yeah, you guys see that the
We
sun
rest
is.
in the hut maybe, or
You guys can rest there if you want.
I'd always make a protective hut. I'm a little low on the spells and things, but I could also push on a little more. What are we all thinking?
You can also cast Tiny Hut as a ritual too. It doesn't cost a spell slot, just so you know.
Oh, true, yeah.
Yes.
Good. I'd forgotten that.
Yes. So it's up to you guys. You probably have 1 to 2 hours of daylight left at most, or you can just crash it. It's up to you. Or you can push through the darkness to make it back to Baswin Wharf in the middle of the night. You have that option too.
Yeah, I say maybe stay the night.
Ooh, we know that's a safe place.
It is up to y'all.
I'd vote for staying, but I don't feel strongly. Just a little rest here in the hut. This is pretty safe.
Yeah.
wanna get
If
back to
we're
town?
Oh yeah, the hut's good.
Yeah, if we're low on stuff and we get into a fight in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, fair.
Friendly hut is friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
I will take 10 minutes to ritual cast hut.
Okay. As you guys cast the hut, it pops up, and you are now in this nice, temperate, dry, cozy hut inside of a hut, in the middle of this swamp.
Double hut.
And anything you wish to do for the rest of the night, or are you just trying to get your rest?
Ooh. Before going to bed, you can re-enter the hut, right?
Yeah, once he's cast it,
Oh,
as
yeah.
long as you have. I'm not a huge fan of you have to be in the exact space when it's cast or you can't get in or out of it. I like to say it's up to the caster to determine up to the amount of
Yeah.
people that he's allowed.
Yeah, in that privilege, just put a little stamp on your wrist. It's fine.
Yeah, basically you have the the pass that lets you through. So yes, you can come and go as you please as long as Pax does not leave, or else it.
Okay, so
classes.
then I would just like to, if it's still there, I'd just like to leave the hut and re-grab all my pulley system that I set up.
Yeah, it's still there.
I'm fine with that.
Get all that and then just bring it back.
Yeah.
And then get back into the hut.
Cool. All right. So you guys are able to take your rest without any issue at all. Feel free to take a long rest and recover all of your stuff. Nothing exciting happens
Yay.
overnight. It's still a little smelly in this swamp. There's the residual stank that's kind of just hanging out, but you know,
As happens, yeah.
as happens. Yes.
Doot.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay for nap.
Mhm. I gotta put her up on.
Who doesn't
mayhem.
love a stinky swamp?
Big ol' stanky swamp. Favorites.
I don't remember why I had a red dot, but I'm
We
picking up my
came
red dot.
from the.
Oh, it was from before. I
north?
just forgot to take it off that second
Okay.
time. What'd you say? Mateia?
Did we come from the west or the east here?
You came
Trying to
from more of
remember.
like a northerly region, like more like a northeast early region. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. We came over this bridge.
You guys came over from this way, but in general, cause like you ended up walking
okay.
down, but this is the side that you ended up on first. You kind of like maneuvered around the swamp a little bit, and you ended up over here. But you can get back any direction from this
Right.
map. You can get back towards Baswin Wharf. But you awake, you hear the frogs and the now clear lake animals, the birds, the morning animal life starting to return. You see a fish every now and again. One may or may not have 3 or 4 heads, but you know,
As you do, normal.
as you do. But yes, the day is yours.
What do we think, gang?
Well, I have stuff I need to buy back in town, so back to town.
Okay. You guys know that it
Yeah, I
takes.
think we can head back to town because we're picking things up.
You guys know that it'll take you about 6 to 8 hours, depending on how quickly you move, just to get back to town from where you are, which is not a problem. You guys made this journey this way before in much more treacherous, swampy territory, so now that it's less swampy, it should be an easier ride. But go ahead, and whoever wants to lead can either make me a survival or a nature check to get back.
I don't mind, but may not be most
Who
suited.
should
I'm
lead?
+4 on nature. I'm guessing our druid's probably better. Looking at Anthea.
I'm a +6, so I don't mind taking the lead.
There we go.
Okay.
And you know these woods from being in this area before, so you,
So,
Anthea,
nature
can
check?
roll at advantage. Yeah. Nature or survival, whichever you prefer.
Why is it not working?
Because I hate you, which is fair. Unfair.
25. Oh yeah. You
Oh, finally. That took like a full minute.
you remember the path back very easily. You're able to retrace your steps, and the 4 of you make it back to Baswin Wharf. We'll say because you rolled so well, you were able to pick it up and go a little bit faster than you were previous, and you're able to make it back in about 5.5 hours compared to 6. So you guys make it there
Yay.
early afternoon. So we'll say you left at about 8:30, and you arrive at about 3. So, but yeah, so you
Quite
guys have Baswin Wharf at your disposal. You do know that the person that told you about the swamp issue was Arbane Venlar, the Invisible World Turtle Enchanter Shop proprietor. They're the ones who sent you this way. So, but you also have the other shops that you visited, as well as your room that you paid for at the tavern that you didn't happen to stay at last night. So,
You know,
there you go.
we're busy people.
You have been busy. So where would you like to go first?
I think last time before we left, I commissioned someone to make a barrel for me,
Yes.
so I can begin working on a weapon.
Yeah, 2 of you had commissioned items from the blacksmith, if I recall, both you and Anthea. And Anthea, will say that you, during your travels back and forth, to the swamp and back, that you managed to find just dead animals, and you were able to get some of their bones and some of their claws and whatnot, since you know that that's some of the items that this person was going to need to finish off the item that you requested. So you have those to give them to. So, would you guys like to go
Right.
first?
Perfect.
I want to go to the blacksmith.
Okay. All right. So you head towards
I'll
the
probably go with
blacksmith.
you just to browse, see what kind of items or gear there might be from the blacksmith.
All right. Kaylin's also gonna go to the blacksmith with you guys.
Blacksmith times are good times.
Are you going to the blacksmith as well, Anthea?
Sorry, who was it I had to go to with the bones and stuff?
The blacksmith.
Blacksmith as well?
Hey.
Yeah, it makes more sense for us
All right.
to go together then.
So you guys go to
As
sticks
long
and
as they're agreed.
you guys go to Sticks and Stones to find Kildor, the older dwarf. And as you kind of make your way in there and just push your way in through the front door, you see there are a couple folks in here that you haven't seen before. It looks like they're just finishing up doing some business with him. They're getting like iron shavings and some discarded metal pieces that he's not seemingly using anymore. They're purchasing them from him for whatever it is they're going to use them for. But you see that as he sees you guys walk in, he kind of acknowledges you and goes back to finishing up with his current customer and says, well, take care, good luck, and the ship leaves tomorrow if you're trying to get on it, so have yourself a wonderful day, and if you need anything before you leave, feel free to stop back. And they exchange their money and their goods, and he gives them a receipt, and then they turn around with the items in hand, and they kind of nod to you and step out of your way, and then they make their way towards the door as to head out to go about their business. And Kildor looks at you and goes, hey, I see you guys are back. It's been a couple days. I think it's been a couple days. 1, 2, I don't know. Time kind of gets away from you when you're working in 1,000-degree
More than one day.
time. Yes, it's been some time.
You're a little too busy.
You gotta make money somehow. You know, gotta keep the shop open. Are you here to pick up your things? Or... Alright, so...
Please.
Yours is 100% done. And he points to you, Fizz. Yours, I was just waiting on some bones or some claws to put the finishing touches on it, and then it'll be like 2 hours from then it'll be done. So if you have those items, I can take them, and if you want to come back about dinner time, it'll be done.
Sounds perfect.
Alright, he'll take the items from you, and then he will hand over the stuff that you purchased, Fizz. And I can't remember what the cost of it was, but I think he wrote it down. So all I remember is that he required 50% up front and 50% after. Because I forget what was it that you bought from him?
I absolutely wrote it down.
I can go back and find it later.
Man, I don't even remember what I purchased from him. I think this iron tubing I have in my inventory, I don't remember. But I know it was something to make a weapon.
Alright, well, just write down...
It might have been a barrel.
Yeah, just write down blacksmith weapon components, and then one of us can just go listen to the recording later, and we'll find out specifically what it was. Because it's been a minute, so... And I wrote it down somewhere, and I forgot where I wrote it, so I'll just listen back to the video. And this is why you record, people, so you can remember what you forgot. You can go back and find exactly what you said. Retcon it when you need to. But yeah, so he hands over your items to you, and then takes all of the bones and claws and stuff from you, and you can see the item that he's making for you, Anthea, looks real good from this distance. It's like 15 feet ahead, kind of in the back, and he swings the door open to walk back there, and it's looking pristine so far. It's almost done.
Nice.
Excitement is real. He comes back out.
You first.
No, I was gonna say, is there anything else you need before I start working on this?
Whoever else said ooh.
There's me.
Okay. Was it you? Did you have a question?
Yeah. Does he sell crossbows?
Yeah, because if he doesn't have them, the general goods store would, but I'll say that he has just standard crossbows here. He doesn't have any magical weapons per se, but if you just need like a regular hand crossbow or a regular like heavy crossbow, he can get you one for sure.
Okay. I'll take, yeah. How much is a heavy crossbow?
However much it is in the PHB, off the top of my head, I don't know, but if you give me 1 second, I can find it for you.
80.
It's 50? Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Yep, so 50 gold pieces, and then do you need bolts or anything?
No.
Okay, I figured.
I'm basically this is essentially, once you realize what I'm using for, this is essentially a waste of 50 gold, but worth it.
Oh, you just using it for a pre-built frame.
You're gonna find out.
That's honestly though, if it saves you time building stuff, sometimes it's worth spending the money so you just have the stuff you kind of need. But yeah, so he hands over the crossbow, takes that 50 gold pieces from you, says, anything else I can help you with right now? Seeing nothing.
I'm good. I passed that question to Anthea.
Okay. I would like to see if he has any armor for little frogs. Mostly for decorative purposes.
Well, we could always cut up the armor you're wearing when you put this other armor on and give it to the frog.
We fashion him some little leather armor.
Yes, I could do that.
Mostly for appearances. It doesn't have to be particularly sturdy because, he's pretty sturdy on his own. Anyways,
okay.
if you don't mind, that would be appreciated. So I'll give him like a piece of my armor.
Okay.
Maybe like
You just get some leather
there's
scraps.
like a piece that
and
normally
stuff.
fits on the arm. Yeah, perfect.
All right. Yeah. I'll have this done tonight too. So, well, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
He just kind of laughs to himself as you hand him this like small piece of scraggly leather to just make frog armor out of.
I love it. I'm so excited.
All right. So, where do you guys want to head to next?
My first thought is the pub to hang out for a bit, but it's a bit early for that, maybe.
Any local quest board we could check out, I suppose?
Well, you do have the quest to turn in.
Well, that's true.
From
Oh,
the
right, we
enchanter
do.
shop. Yeah. From Arbane.
Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys all make your way over to the Invisible World Turtle.
As we're walking, this is a weird question. As we're walking, can I like rummage through some like trash cans to see if like anyone's thrown out like a crank for like their indoor elevator or whatever those things are called?
Like the dumbwaiters?
Yeah, I'm looking for a crank. Just like junk. I'm just looking for junk, specifically a crank.
Junk crank?
I'll say that you would look around. It's gonna be more so probably in like either the fishing goods and supplies store trash, the blacksmith trash, or just the general goods. So we'll say that the chance is pretty low that they're gonna have thrown out cranks. So we'll say it's a 5% chance each place. So a 15% chance overall that you'll find one. So roll me a D100. And we'll say 86 to 100, you will find one. Otherwise, you will not. So, just...
Damn, that's close.
Yeah, you find, like, bits and pieces of stuff, of, like, pieces of metal here and there, and, like, wood that could maybe have been like a door handle or something like that, maybe, but you don't quite find what you're looking for. So...
Ooh, a door handle, that works.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like a regular wooden door handle. It can either be like the circular knob form or like the longer, thinner.
Yeah, I want a
form.
knob that you turn.
Yeah, so you find yourself an old doorknob, which looks like that just the threads have kind of worn out, and they changed it out because the threads weren't really working anymore. So you have a de-threaded doorknob.
This is gonna be janky, but that's the point of this character.
All right. So you guys make it to the Invisible World Turtle, and as you walk in, you see the short brown-haired, taller, elven Arbane sees you and welcomes you back and goes, "Oh, well, I see you've returned. Alive? That's good. Um,
You sound surprised.
well, I kind of expected the worst, but since nobody has returned, so I'm thankful. Don't get me wrong. I'm happily, pleasantly surprised. What did you find?
Well, a lot of mean things, and I believe there was poison involved.
Mm-hmm. Certainly was.
I kind of show him my drawings of the wormhole.
A hole in a snake? A snake hole?
It's a worm. I'm not an artist, but I try my best. It's a wormhole.
Oh. Well, that's you found just a. How big is this worm?
Pretty big.
It's a big one. I don't know. But do we use metric or imperial in this world?
Whichever. They understand both.
How many feet would it have been?
About 25 to 30 feet across. So,
Okay.
very, very large.
So,
basically, it could eat
yeah.
a small house.
Okay, yeah. So I tell him that and show him that my drawings pale in comparison to the real thing.
Their eyes get very, very large as they are like, oh, a giant worm. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you show them the poison that you acquired?
I mean, did they specifically ask for it?
No. I'm just curious.
I mean, they might have something interesting to add. So yes, I'll show them and
And they,
see how they react.
as they kind of identify it, they look from the poison up to you, to the poison, and back up at all of you guys, and their eyes getting wider and wider, and wider, and say, "Oh, you failed to mention this was a frost worm. Okay, that makes more sense. Well, that makes sense. Why things were."
Change things.
Yes, that's very large and very dangerous. But was the frostworm in the actual swamp itself?
Not quite.
It was in a what was it? Would you say a dungeon in the swamp?
Oh. So, I take it you cleared the swamp, entered this frostworm dungeon, and then killed the frostworm?
Yeah, that probably sums it up.
Oh, well, that
Is that a bad thing?
no, that's a good thing. Very, very good. Much surprise. That was unexpected. You went way
Much surprise. Very wow.
you went way further beyond what was expected or even anticipated.
Hooray.
Well,
Huzzah.
I feel like,
We are very thorough.
yes, I feel like I owe you on behalf of the town. So let me give you 2 things. And you can do with them as you wish. They pull out one of the potions that they had from before, and they hand you a potion of vitality. And then they pull out the box with the fancy spell scroll. And they're going to, while you've been away, they tell you, I haven't unrolled it, but I've been focusing on this magic to kind of try and figure out what this spell is. Is it something I don't recognize? Go ahead, Pax, and give me a Arcana check, first of all. Alright, and now give me a... So, with that Arcana check, you, looking at it, is more to like focus on the school of magic that it's from, and you recognize that it's very, very powerful. You recognize already that this is an 8th level spell from before, and you recognize that it's either enchantment magic or transmutation magic, but there's something a little more there as far as magic is concerned, and you can't quite tell what it is just yet. Give me a D100 roll, please.
Okay.
16. Okay. So, let me get this pulled up here really quickly, because this is something new. As you kind of look at this, you recognize this as a type of transmutation magic that you have, that you've never seen before. Let me find it on here real quick. Where did it go? I think this is what I'm looking for. There it is. Oops. So, you kind of look at this, and it is a type of enchantment magic, but it feels very dark, and it feels almost very evil. And as you look at it and you focus, it reminds you of the curse from back home. And you recognize this as a subcategory of enchantment magic. Enchantment in the subcategory of apocalypse magic.
Ooh, I'll definitely try out group.
And you recognize this as the spell called Frail Form. And this is what it does. Basically, you'll need... This is one of those ones that you'll have to get the item. You'll have to roll an Arcana check to cast this regardless, whether you have the piece or not. Basically, it does all of what you see there. Yes. So, it basically reduces its form down to a very, very frail version of itself. So, but you can reduce its strength and dexterity to 1. It won't be able to hold more than 3 pounds. Its speed will be halved. It can't take reactions. Its AC and attacks are reduced to account for this, but it can still cast spells. And it lasts for what's an instantaneous spell, and it can only make a repeat save after every long rest.
Wow.
So once you cast this spell, they're like that at least for a day. So keep that in mind.
I will pocket that carefully and not burn it off.
So go ahead and just add, I haven't made the item yet, but just make a little note in there somewhere that you have a spell scroll of Frail Form in your inventory.
Neat.
Yes. So, but they give you those, and well, I hope that scroll, I hope you use it wisely. It does seem to be evil, so I'm actually kind of glad to be you taking it off my hands.
Where did you get it from?
I got it from a traveling tradesperson who was down on their luck, and just needed some fast coin. So I gave them 1,000 gold pieces, and they gave me this. And I've been trying to sell it for more, but honestly, what you all have done is of greater value to this community than a mere 1,000 or so gold pieces. So, in the long run, I don't mind getting rid of evil items that I have in my store, as they do nothing but bring bad luck eventually. So,
How would we look to undo magic like this? This is magic similar to what I've seen in other places. Do you know if this traveler can be found again, or if anyone might have more information about like who made this and how one might counteract magic that's made like this?
as far as counteracting this high dark level magic, you would likely have to find a wizard who focuses on this style of magic, or a practitioner of magic who focuses on the opposite. I don't know of anyone personally who does that, but it can't hurt to keep your ear out.
Okay. You've been most helpful. Thank you for that, and we will make sure this doesn't fall into any inappropriate hands.
Absolutely. If there's ever anything else I can do for you, feel free to reach out and let me know. I'm always here for enchanting purposes and, a practitioner of selling magical items that come across my way. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Go ahead and roll me a history check, Pax.
Sure, I'm okay at that.
12?
Not today.
Not today. You can kind of assume that if there is something that is able to create something this dark magic-wise and can create apocalypse magic, you do know that there have been those who have been able to recategorize magic in such a way to break it down even further, that there is such thing as super highly focused magic for good. Something along the lines of something along the lines of like angelic magic, you think?
Okay.
So that's something to keep in mind. Through some of the stories from the root causes of the curse at Evermeet and happening to the people, it could just be, it's a hope that people have that someone from the heavens, some high cleric or deity-based being will come and help cure this curse with you. But yeah, you've heard angelic magic before, but you have no real hard evidence of if it's truth or if it's just kind of a story made up for to give some kids hope somewhere or something. So
So wizard or maybe even a clerical person to learn more about. Yeah. Cool.
Is there anything else I can do for you at this moment?
Well, for me, and I'll look at the colleagues.
I think I'm happy.
What building are we in again?
You are in the Enchanter's Shop, the Invisible World Turtle.
Okay. Enchanter Shop. Was it the Enchanter Shop I needed to go to for my... Hold on.
I think they enchanted some thread for you earlier to kind of make like
I already have that. But was it the Enchanter Shop that I need to go for all of this, or was it somewhere else? Was there an alchemist in town?
There is not an alchemist in this town. So that would be where you would get that from, an alchemist. The enchanter said they would try and see if they could get some of it for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna roll just a D8. So they can give you about half of the items. We'll say that they can give you the calcium, sodium, magnesium, and sulfur.
Okay.
So the other items you still need, but then they tell you that you'll likely have to get them from a specialized alchemist, as they're not something super common that normal casters would get. They've just those are more those four are more common in that they're used for enchanting certain things with different runes and trying to figure out different chemical formulae. So
I will take what they have.
yes, so they will give you enough to complete whatever it is that you're working on for that specific purpose. So
Oh, this is an enchanter shop. Can I ask if they could identify something?
yeah, absolutely.
I have a necklace with 6 vials in it.
Yes, you do.
Nice.
What dat?
Forgot about that. Yay.
All right. So, yeah, because none of your guys' magic items that you acquired in the dungeon had been identified officially. So, if you want all of them to be identified, they can identify them for you. So the necklace, as you lay it out in front of them, and they start to focus on it. It takes them about 10 minutes, and when they pop their head up, they tell you that this is a necklace of prayer beads, and inside of the necklace you have 6 beads, and here's what it looks like. So you have a necklace of prayer beads. Bam. There you go.
Sweet.
So, yeah, and you have 6 beads on that. Do you want them to identify the other magical items that you guys acquired?
Heck yeah.
All right. So
You went on.
so what they do at that point is you put down this thing in front of them, and you see that they kind of take a few minutes and they look up at you with some sort of surprise, and they tell you that you have acquired an amulet of the plains. And then as you put down this black handkerchief, they know immediately what this is. They don't even have to identify it, and they tell you that you also have acquired a portable hole.
Ooh,
So.
cool.
Yes. So you guys have those things right now. So
Interesting.
uh-huh.
Okay.
But yeah, so you have those things.
Okay, I need to make another trip back to the blacksmith, and then I'm ready to go to the tavern so I can start working on a project.
Yeah. We'll say that by the time, because the enchanter shop is kind of further up in this portion of town, and the blacksmith shop is kind of down here where your tokens are. So we'll say by the time you stopped at the blacksmith shops first, you slowly maneuvered your way through town up to the enchanter. You talked to Arbane for a little while. They took about half an hour to identify all of your items and kind of go through that stuff with you. So by the time you would have made it back to the blacksmith shop, they'll just be finishing Anthea's item.
I need at the blacksmith. I would go in and I'd ask for a single gauntlet.
Sure, you can have a single gauntlet. Let's say 5 silver pieces.
Perfect.
Cool. And as you get in there, you see that they pull out this suit of magical studded leather armor that's made with no metal. It's got fur, it's got bones, it's got claws, it's got teeth. And you see that the studs here are made with polished ironwood. The buckles and the clasp are what are made of bones and claws and teeth and horns and whatnot. And you now have yourself, Anthea, some armor of the beast, which you should be able to just look here. I'll just add it to your inventory for you because it might not let you do it, so I'll do it right now. But you now have yourself some new armor and equipment. Your armor class officially goes, because you have to attune to it, you put it on, you feel it. As you attune, it kind of morphs to your body. It becomes very form-fitting in a comfortable kind of way. And you can kind of change how it feels and looks as to a point. You can't change its like full aesthetic, but you can change its looseness and whatnot as you think about it. It kind of sprouts a little bit of mushrooms and has some fungi on it, but your armor class officially increases to 17. And whenever you transform into an animal, you might have to manually carry it over, but the beasts also have a +2 to their AC as well, because this carries through to whatever animal you turn. So if you turn into a bear with an AC of like 14, it'll be 16 with this. So
Cool.
stuff like that for every animal, whether it's a super tiny snail or a big eagle, something like that. So this carries through, it kind of morphs and fits into that animal shape, takes on their same skin tones and feathers and scales and stuff. And you see that as he hands this to you, he very quickly turns around and gets a little thing he's fashioned up in the time you've been away. And it's this little piece of leather with a few extra little bone spikes on it that kind of look like a hood. Like a hood with some horns on it. Your frog, Gleba, will effectively look like a horned toad. It's got some like leather, like it's a little like leather jacket that clasps under the belly and has the ability to stretch as Gleba gets bigger. He uses the same magic to kind of shape it with Gleba. It's not gonna give them any like armor bonus or anything. It's mainly just for aesthetics. But now Gleba has a horned hoodie, and can now look like a horned frog. So.
I love it.
Sorry I couldn't enchant it with any magic to, make him actually give some armor buffs, but I figured you were probably more worried about what it looked like and, kind of matching you more so than protecting them. So, yeah, you can pull the hood up or leave it down. If you pull it up, they just look more fierce. But yes, I've never made armor for a frog before, so it might slide off. I don't know. So. Here you go.
Amazing.
Well, good luck on whatever it is that you intend to do. And I hope that we can see you again at some point. But otherwise, it's been fun. It's been really flexing out my blacksmithing muscles, and I appreciate that.
Well, and thank you for the
Happy to do it.
information and supplies.
Absolutely. Alright. So, what would you guys like to do for the rest of the day?
Does anyone else have things they need to do? I feel we have erranded all we need to, but I also might be forgetting things.
I am off. I have to craft. I have stuff I need to craft.
Oh, it reminds me of the person who says, I must dance, but I must craft.
So that's what I'm like off to the tavern to like get a table to begin working.
Okay. So you're heading back to the Curious Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, as you walk in, you see Danis, the operator there. The human kind of gives you a nod and sees you with all of your stuff and kind of points you over to one of the bigger empty tables over to one side. Not so much like in a corner hidden away, but just a bigger open space. The table looks like it's a hardier table that has seen many a drinking game and probably many an arm wrestling or the game where you put your hand on and try and stab between your fingers with a knife kind of game. This is a very sturdy table made of oak. So.
Okay. Well, if you guys have anything else you wish to do before I begin going into mad science and describing what I'm doing.
I've got some messages to send, so I'll leave you to it.
Okay. Are you using the sending spell and sending messages?
Yes, I'd want to try and send, if it's possible, to send a message, in quotes, back home that I have found similar magic that may have afflicted us,
Okay.
and to see if anyone's heard of a cleric who knows of angelic magic, or a wizard who can identify very high level
All right.
transmutation of this
So
magic.
what we'll do for that is we'll actually RP that. You just write down, send me a quick message of who you want to send it to, so I have a name, and then your sending messages can only be 25 words per message, and they can respond. So we'll do that here in a bit. So we'll get
Work
that
on
going soon. Anthea, anything in particular you wish to do this afternoon to evening?
I feel like I already have everything I need. I'm really happy with the armor. That's awesome. So I guess I don't know if I need any spell components or anything. Maybe I'll just take some time to sort of triple check my inventory here.
Okay. So you guys are basically just maintaining your equipment and passing some time with the plan
Yep.
still in place of waiting for a boat to become available to take you to Evermeet, because that's where your wizard told you that you should probably head, and Pax is from there. So you're kind of just waiting on that to show up. And you know that there is one coming. You just haven't heard specifically when yet. So, but you know that the tavern gets kind of lively at night, so keep your ears out and maybe you'll get lucky. Who knows? All right, so we'll do all of your crazy science building stuff, and then we'll go around to the sending spells, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So in the tavern, I'm doing like a Tony Stark. I'm pulling on the welding mask, and I'm getting ready because I take out the gauntlet.
He opens lots of windows and the doors.
I take the gauntlet. I take the gauntlet, and I take like a little handle. I get a handle all set up, which I put in the palm of the gauntlet. I then take the heavy crossbow, and I completely smash off the trigger and the, some other parts, so that's only like the main base of the heavy crossbow, which I then stick on the top of the gauntlet and connect it to the handle in the palm of the gauntlet. And then I want to like take, whether it's in like my block and tackle, which I've used for my pulleys, but I want to take a tiny little box, and then if I have to scrounge up other parts, I will. And I want to take the tiny little box and connect it on the other, like the left side of the gauntlet, because it's going on my left hand. On the left side of the gauntlet, and then feed a, like a machine gun belt into it, like try and make a belt and feed it into it, which then hooks up to the tube that I got, the barrel that I got, which then goes on top of the crossbow. And then I take the doorknob and hook it up to the right side of the gauntlet, which acts as the reloader. I pull it to reload, and I pull on the little handle in the gauntlet to fire. And in our group chat, you'll see my prototype. See, there's the box in the back, there's the handle and the fingers, there's the top, there's the barrel, there's the firework in it.
Ooh, I like it.
Very cool.
And because I already have the base parts, I assume, or I'm hoping you'd let me skip the whole making a blueprint, because this is technically a pre-made blueprint.
Yeah, I mean, you spent all that time finding and buying the items that you can definitely effectively have the blueprint already done. And what are you going to shoot out of it? Just out of curiosity.
Fireworks.
Okay.
This is my firework launcher prototype.
Gotcha. You just need to make the fireworks. I'm assuming that's what you need.
I just need to make the fireworks.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Go
I'm
ahead.
just gonna at some point in time, I'm just gonna end up changing my entire class to like armor or artificer, because I'm gonna have a ranged weapon on my left hand. I'm gonna have a Tony Stark blaster on my right. I'm just gonna end up being Iron Man.
That's fair. So, all right. So here's what we'll do then. Go ahead and roll me a Tinker's Tools check And well, first roll me a straight intelligence at advantage, and you can add your proficiency to that.
Okay.
So if you
whatever
have any
this is
intelligence
+4.
skills with a +4, just roll those at advantage. So 18, +4, spicy, 22. All right. So now roll me a Tinker's Tools at advantage with dexterity. And you have
Okay.
proficiency in those, so.
I do indeed. I'll just roll this twice because I don't think I can roll with advantage when clicking and actually using the tool.
It doesn't matter. You got
I
a
don't
nat
even
20.
know what the first one is. Oh shit! I was like, I don't even know what the first one is.
Roll the. I just want to see what you got on the second roll, just out of dumb curiosity. That's all. I hope it's not
Me and you
20.
still,
Really.
me and you need to make these items because we still need to make the flame gauntlet.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get around to that. But I just
Not
wanna
expertise.
Nope, just old proficiency. 24. I mean, you didn't roll bad the second time either.
No.
You rolled really well. Yeah, with a 22 total for your intelligence, as you're taking all these things and kind of channeling your father's natural tinkering capabilities that he taught you, as well as your kind of street smart knowledge of how to just build stuff on the fly that doesn't blow up in your face. You're able to put together a quick little blueprint of all the items you need, kind of like when you take something apart and you put it all on the table in front of you in the order that you disassembled it, so you can clean it and put it all back together in the same order. You kind of did that on what you want it to look like, and then with your Tinker's Tools check, the best build you've ever done that you are the most confident in is this right here. You're in this bar, you're in your zone, you guys are watching Fizz, who, it's like, you know, whenever you see the cartoons of someone building something really quickly and they're surrounded in smoke and you hear like the chainsaws and the hammers and nails, it's kind of like one of those scenes.
I'm a mixture of like Wile E. Coyote and Tony Stark.
Yes, that's actually a
Space
very
Christmas Tree and Charlie Brown, just like hand waving.
yes, that is a very apt description actually. Tony Stark and Wile E. Coyote. That's very funny. And at the end of it, you see that you hold up this launcher that has room in it for you to put in a explosive of sorts. So a very perfectly built launcher, capable of doing what you want it to do. You just have to build the stuff that's going to go inside of it. Now, when you build those fireworks, depending on how well you build them, they might explode in your barrel, or they might.
Yeah, I'll
do
you
other
know I'll
things.
build them outdoors too
Yes.
because you know we
Yes.
don't want fireworks going off indoors. But
Yeah.
as I build this and I see my perfect creation, Fizz's the you know ideas and thoughts of Fizz's father, you know, being, you know, he's an artificer, but he's also part businessman. And so the first thing real quick that goes through, or the second thing that goes through Fizz's head is, boy, those teens that I sold fireworks to back home are gonna love this.
Always the businessman.
Gonna mass produce these.
All right, so you spend, that takes you pretty much the whole night
Oh,
to
yeah.
get this right, because this is a project. You've been spending some time getting these things, and as you do
Project and
that,
a half.
right? The bar does start to fill up, but people leave you alone as the bartender sees how well you are doing, and you're just in the zone. And he's tried sending food and drinks over to you, but you just, as you kind of come out of being in the Tinker Zone, you see the table is just full of drinks and food that has been sent to you multiple times. It's just chilling, waiting for your consumption. But Pax, so you send that message to Jasper, and you just send a mental message off to them. And a few minutes go by, and you get a message back in your head that says, Pax, nice to hear from you. I will set the meeting. Hope to see you soon. Are you near?
Cool. I assume with another casting I can send a reply.
Yeah, you can send
Okay, I'll work on that.
you can send another 25-word reply. So as long as you have 3rd level or above spell slots and sending, you can send as many as many sendings for which you have available spell slots of that level or above. So, and you know, based on where you are and kind of the maps that you've looked at and kind of the information you've gathered since you've been here, that you are a few days boat trip from Evermeet, from here, and you're just waiting on a boat that's going in that general direction to arrive to Baswin Wharf to get you there. So, or at least close enough that you can get over there. So.
Got it.
Cool. So, while you guys are kind of getting towards the later hours of your night, so 9-10 o'clock, everybody give me perception checks, and I think I'll roll one for Kaylin because she's just been kind of hanging out and
Hanging out, perceiving things.
just hanging out and listening for stuff. Oh, 28, Jesus. She rolled a 15. It's the lowest she can possibly roll. And you're out here rolling nat 20s. Alright. You send that message. And Jasper says back to you a few minutes later, I will make sure they are available in 1 week for your arrival. Stay safe. And that's all Jasper puts in their response. With a 28 and a 17, you guys really just had to get over a 15. You guys hear of some what look to be sailors, maybe traveling tradesfolk, who are mentioning that ships are going to be arriving in the next couple of days. There's going to be 3 or 4 ships coming in the next couple of days. They're just talking in general. You hear one of them say, "Yeah, well, we got to try and get on these boats to get us some work. I don't know, maybe we can go out and trade with some places we've never been before. I've heard there's some islands out there. I've only really stayed local. I'm really just doing like the local fishing trips and trading over to the main city, but I feel like I want to get out and see something new, see some new of the world, see some new islands, some new archipelagos or whatever those things are called. You know, the newer places, or maybe we can eventually hitch a ride out to the island that's being chained to the sea by those big ass chains, but I don't know, that's a pipe dream. Daddy told me about that, but I've never been out that way, but I don't know, maybe some other
Would I
islands."
have any notice of like what kind of traders they are? Like, are they obviously wool traders, or they've got like, bales of gems nearby, or like?
These guys just look like they probably just trade in like lumber and just general goods, as well as they're probably laborers of some sort. They seem to be the kind of folk that are just doing what they can do. They're very blue-collar workers that seem to be able to they're just trying to get by. They don't really want to put down roots anywhere. They kind of want to explore, but not adventure, if that makes sense.
Then I, kind of saunter up and say, well, pardon my interrupting, but I couldn't help overhear looking for exotic destinations. I'm actually from a very exotic and elven and fey destination, Evermeet, which is always in look for quality lumber and labor and other supplies. So, looking for adventure and a guide, I have suggestions.
Oh. You looking to go back out to Evermeet? I've been there once. It was cool. But I can go again.
Isn't it? It's so cool.
The place was like one big party.
It is. Party and music and business.
Well, I think let me check with the dockmaster, the wharf master. Maybe there's a boat going to Evermeet here in the next couple days. And
Cool.
you say you're from there?
Yep, born and bred.
You feel like you could get me a better deal on my lumber trade than what I've been doing?
I think I could try.
Maybe like 10 or
Persuasion's my
15%
game.
more?
I've got some good connections.
All right.
I can
Well,
send a few messages in advance to see if there's good supplies. What insert species name of wood here are you looking to trade? Business
um,
jabber.
yeah,
Business
yeah.
talk.
They kind of describe to you the woods that they like to trade, and they explain that they're local to this region. They're not like endangered or anything, but they really only grow here, and he tries to export it out because he wants to see this lumber used in um, some famous like wood carving products, or his 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 like life goal is to have his wood end up in a well-known um, crafter's hands to make um, very nice furniture for the royal family. That is his end goal. And also he wants to see that furniture kind of spread to different countries. So his business, he wants to be the supplier to the furniture builder to the stars. That's what he wants to be.
Cool. Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll say that I can likely help with that, and maybe I'll type another note to Jasper, like, hey, also found wood merchant specializing in exotic woods that might be enchantable. Could be good connection for us to the mainland or emissary. So that was a sub goal, was to make business relationships. So doing that.
yeah, Jasper
Sweet.
kind of, you get a message back and he chuckles and goes, okay. That's all it says is a chuckle and okay.
Typical tax hustling,
Yes, yes. This man, who we'll say his name is Martin, goes over to find the wharf master, and he finds this smaller human woman, about 5'4". Looks like she, definitely looks like she's in charge. He walks over to her and kind of bides his time for a second while she finishes the conversation, and then she looks up at him, curiously, and then he sits down and they have a conversation for a couple of minutes, and then she nods and kind of just brushes him off, like, okay, it's time to leave me be now while I enjoy my night. Martin comes back over, says, well, it turns out there's a boat heading in the General Evermeet direction. It's coming later tomorrow afternoon. The initial plan wasn't to go that way, but I did talk to Diana over there, and she said that since you can effectively give us a stronger contact in Evermeet, that it would be worth the captain's time to kind of redirect up there for a stop for about a day, and then we'll hop back on and continue on where we're going, or I'll stay in Evermeet and continue until they come back through.
That's
if
fantastic.
That's fine with you. So.
That absolutely is, and I'd be sure to give them the appropriate, I don't know, if this is a tipping culture or not, or if people are offended or pleased by, the kind of finder's fee, but whatever you think is appropriate, I'd make sure to give them a shiny or some gold or something.
Excellent. Is it just you that's coming with us, or are there others that are going to be also joining?
Myself and 3 companions. Yes, we're questing to do some magical research, as it happens, on Evermeet.
Okay.
And also to pursue new relationship with fine folk like yourself, with traders, to be less isolated as a community.
All right. Well, all right. So I guess tomorrow, meet at the wharf. Say mid-afternoon time, and then that way we're ready to head off right before dinner. They'll have a meal prepped on the boat, and everyone will eat, and then we will depart. So just be sure to be there no later than mid-afternoon, so that we can have the appropriate count. We can have everyone where they need to be, and then we will depart at that point. So.
Understood.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to enjoying the rest of my evening. Again, my name's Martin. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Martin. Yes.
And look forward to working with you and seeing what this can lead to.
Absolutely.
So he kind of nods and then just turns back to his buddy who is there, and they start drinking and eating and playing some cards and whatnot. And you are free to share this information with your party now.
I absolutely will, yeah. Woo! Info dump. We have travel and business contacts
Yay!
and meals. Much has been accomplished.
so much. What else do we need?
I don't know what much else we need, actually. Tomorrow afternoon is when we need to show up at the dock, so if there's any business to finish here in town. But,
Okay.
yeah.
As far as other buildings in town, I will say all of the shops that you kind of explored and went to as much as you needed to. There was a general goods store, a fishing goods and supplies store, your blacksmith shop, the enchanter shop, the tavern that you're staying in, and then there's another tavern that is open that is like on the far ends of town, and then there is a closed building which may have been a tavern at some point, but you're not quite sure anymore. So
But yeah, R&R and restock and be prepared for the journey. I'd probably look for if there's appropriate gifts from from the city to give to. I do some souvenir shopping, which we can hand away, but just to want to have some
yeah, for sure.
trinkets or snacks, local snacks to share with the friends, the folks that I can ever meet.
Yes.
All right.
Some
Yeah.
treats to bring.
So you-
Exactly.
And if there are any physical letters or packages or anything you wish to send to anyone, there is the postal delivery service that can do that. So if that's something you felt interested in doing, you can do that. Otherwise, if there's anything else you need to do for tonight, you have your rooms that you have already paid for at the Curious
Yeah.
Ducks where you are, and you guys can continue about your business.
And this would be a decent moment for an IRL break as well.
We're actually gonna get done a little bit early tonight, so we only got a few
Oh.
more minutes.
Well, okay.
Because I don't want to
this
start
is
that long sea voyage without everybody here.
Everybody.
So, and I didn't know
This
how
is
long it
gonna
was gonna take
be-
for us to get there. So,
Is this going to be a fade to black as we all fall asleep?
yeah, kind of a fade to blackish moment as you, unless there's anything else you guys want to do. If there's anything else you have plans you want to do, if there's anything else you want to try, you do have the entirety of the night and some time before waking up in the morning. So if there's anything else that you or your character wishes to try and accomplish for the evening, now would be the time to tell me what it is.
I will save my firework making
Mhm.
for the next session for when we're all here so that I have a greater chance at blowing everyone up.
Suggestion, says Pax, don't do it on the boat.
That's a good suggestion.
No promises.
Don't sink the boat. All right. Anthea, is there anything you wish to do for the remainder of the night?
I think that's it.
Pax, anything?
I'm so excited for a boat trip.
Anything you wish to do for the rest of the night?
No, I think I'm good as well.
Fizz, anything you wish to do for the rest of the night?
No, I've made my thing. I probably fall asleep on the table, actually, after gorging myself on all the food and drink.
You do get woken up by some patrons at the behest of the bartender to kind of shuffle you up to your room. And they are much smaller than you, so there's like 8 of them trying to move you to get up there.
You know, as they're moving me, I kind of take my hand and like it accidentally goes on someone's shoulder and I instinctively ignite the flame gauntlet.
Oh, you definitely singed this person's shoulder. We'll say, because you're asleep and not really trying to burn them, you do 2 damage to a commoner. That's a lot of damage to a commoner. He's feeling real
That's
bad.
half their health.
Yeah,
That's like he's on like I accidentally like I'm tired.
You 3rd degree
And
burn that man's arm.
yeah, I'm walking up, and so like I accidentally like graze his face, so like I just burned off his entire eyebrow and like half his face.
They run to find a healer to put some salves on there and some lotion.
Yeah, that hair's gone though, man. You need greater restoration to get that hair back.
Hey, they'll just put an eye patch on. They'll be fine. You don't need restoration when you have a tailor who can make an eye patch, so it's much cheaper. All right, so you all eventually find sleep as you get a long night's rest in preparation to pick up the next day in the mid-afternoon to head out on a boat to make your way towards Evermeet, which you know is going to be a few day trip. Depending on the weather, it'll probably be about 4 to 5 days. It could be shorter, it could be longer, just depends on the water, the weather, and all kinds of other things. So, but with that, we will pick up next time, starting our voyage to Evermeet to see what happens. So,
Hooray.
woohoo!